All right, YouTube. So we're going to start our emotional series. We're going to call this the emotional series. I am the truth, man, as those of you already know. And those of you who tune in to this channel, I just want you to know that you come across something useful. You know, YouTube, I'm done talking about whether or not they fair. I make videos, and you know, if they feel comfortable with the way they do things in secret, then that's them. I'm gonna keep making videos because I know that they do allow some people to see it and people benefit from it. So we talking about emotions on here. Talking about emotions. And we're gonna start out by talking about this emotion called frustration. We might do more than one. We're gonna start out with frustration. Frustration is the seed that if you let frustration sit in the soil of your life, it's gonna produce a crop known as depression. So those of you that have been tuning in, you already know that I quit my job. Job paid $30 an hour, but so effing what? And here's why I quit. Because frustration was trying to sit in. They kept monitoring me while not appreciating me. Keep in mind, I have over 13 plus years experience in corrections. They tried to downplay that. Not saying you have to treat me like I'm a favorite. They didn't know me like that. I got it. But the way they tried to treat me, you don't do that to somebody with my experience. Now, I was doing what they was asking me to do. And they tried to write me up for doing something that I was trained to do because the captain had been there for a long time and he was more old school. And I don't know, maybe he was messing with the ladies, who knows? But he got upset at the way I handled a fight. Now, I know y'all heard me tell this story, and this is the 100% truth, the information that I'm giving you. There was another fight on a dorm that I was working on, and I kind of intervened, and I was able to get them to stop from fighting. But the one guy he hit the dude, or somehow one of the dudes ended up on the ground. And he just kept punching him in his eye. And so I got in between them and I let the other dude get up. Like I kind of shoved him out the way so the other dude could get up. The other dude got up, picked the dude up and slammed him. And like, oh, he ain't blowing at me, y'all. He blowing at the car in front of me. It's daydreaming. But he picked him up and slammed him. That's when I had enough. And I pulled out the taser and put it on him. He leaned up against the wall. He gave up. The dude he body slammed tried to get his lick back. So I turned the taser to him. And he sat at the table. By the time they got there, the guys that got done fighting, and they handcuffed both of them and took them to cell block. Now, I got called in the office for it by the lieutenant. Now watch this. The lieutenant, I don't know if he was disrespecting me because he didn't really act like he respected me. Like, he didn't know me. He didn't know how I get with hands on. He probably was looking at my age, judging me by my age. It doesn't matter. Trust me when I tell you, I was going scale back on those guys. I could have turned it up and had blood everywhere like in the time past, but I didn't do that. I did it the way they trained. That was paramilitary. I've never been to the military, but I know how it go. You're supposed to show people respect and show the chain of command respect. That didn't get me nowhere. It got me like it's like they was on me more than the other people. See? And so I'm seeing them trying to correct me over stuff that was far less than what other people was doing and not doing. Frustration was setting in. So he calls me in the office, the lieutenant, and tells me the same thing they told us in training. So he was going by, like he was actually right? Now watch this. He says, if they fighting, let them fight as long as it's not too one-sided, nobody's unconscious, nobody appears like they're going to die. He said, let them fight and let the people who come, let them handle it, right? He corrected me. He said I was too close. That was his exact words. Now, when this fight happened, that ended up being the reason why I quit. I did what they told me to do. And they even said it. He himself even said it. I don't know nothing against the sergeant that responded first. And I'm not trying to accuse nothing or nothing. She was a very attractive lady. She was. Hey man, listen. She was attractive. I don't know if it was because the inmate that got beat up, a lot of people liked him, or it was because she responded first. But nonetheless, he got upset. He became upset because he said that I was a spectator. Now, I'm at the desk. He didn't see that I was talking to them from the desk before I came over there. And so when I came over there, I just looked at him like with sarcasm. Like, y'all didn't hear what I'm saying from the desk? One of them gets up, the other one's on the phone. He gets off the phone, takes a swing, and they get to fight. So I did what they told me to do. I called it in. We have a fight on such and such. They came over there. Like, why is it that women had the same job and the first person that responded made more than me? But you want to see one thing I know about beta males and simps is you put them in leadership, they always want to question another man's machismo. But trust me when I tell you, I don't know about nobody's fighting ability there, but from what I saw, I wasn't worried at all about nobody that worked there whooping me. I'm going to tell you like that. Nothing against none of them. I'm not worried about none of them whooping me, man. Trust me. But he tried to act like somebody was scared. So I got like, now I'm not even talking to him like he a captain. I'm like, are you implying that I was scared? I said, so what do you want me to do? So you giving me permission to just start putting hands on people? I wanted him to say yeah. If he would have said yeah, I was going to go back to how I was. In Texas, at the other facility. And it was going to be more explanation for him. Not that I overdo it. It's just I do it. I was trying not to be that way over there. You know. But it's funny how the system is backwards. The kids get more hands-on than the adults. It's backwards. So I'm taking it on the chin, like I'm listening to him. But when he tried to tell me he was gonna write me up, keep in mind, I had worked 18 days in a row. For 18 straight days, we have what's called roll call. We coming in there getting scrutinized. Some of the scrutiny was stuff that was happening to me directly now, and the guys lying on me and stuff because I had so much control. Now, what's weird is they was trying to act like I didn't have any control, because they're listening to people who aren't there. They're not around. One game that was being played by the inmates in that facility is when other people come around, they try to act like they running stuff. But when they leave, they already know, look, man, you don't do this, it's going to be this. So the game is over when the people leave. But keep in mind, I had worked 18 days in a row. They was taking my off days. All of them. I had 2 days off in over 20 days. Right? So every day, roll call, blast, critique, all of us, right? And keep in mind, this place is known for high turnover. They finally had the numbers, and they was doing this, and people was quitting. Like one time, a person that I was cool with, they was like, if I can't transfer, I'm quitting. I said, I wouldn't quit if I was you. Now keep me on, I'm telling this person not to quit. I said, nah, I'm quitting. So they got to the point where they ain't care no more. It was a group of them, and they was sitting right in front of the lieutenant. Said we should all just quit. They ain't care. They knew what they was gonna do. And when I was on vacation, I came back. I was looking around like, why is it empty in here? They did it. They all quit. Other people was quitting. One guy told me nothing is good enough. Nothing is good enough for them. I can't work here no more. That's what he told me. Frustration. We having mental health training and stuff, and I'm sitting in the training, and I'm like, the training is very attractive, but I don't got no mental health issues. If I start having mental health, I'm going to quit. That's what I do. Before I hurt somebody, before I get in trouble, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation, because I know that I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine financially. Sometimes you just got to step back and go through it a little bit, tussle a little bit. You'll get back. That's how I think. That's not how she think at home, but that's how I think. I don't believe in taking no extra frustration for a paycheck. You got to realize that I've been a part of the street life. I know how this money thing go. I just don't believe in taking a bunch of nonsense just because you have a family. It's a point you say, okay, well, I'll take this much. But when you get to the breaking point, man, you got to quit. Or for some people, not me, but for some people, that's when bad things happen. That's when bad things happen. So, and I shoved a guy on the job before, and I didn't feel bad for doing it, but I was thinking like I should have never let him get me to that point. It's like, the reason why I shoved him is because he had been doing stuff for months. Then he was up there making racist comments like the day before, talking about what looked good hanging on trees, apples and ends. So when we restraining somebody, he grabs my hand and pushes it off the person because he didn't like how I was putting her hands. And she was naked because she was on the S watch. Dude moved so I got up and pushed him. Said, man, don't you ever touch me again. See, people can say what they want. Oh, he did. But when you start touching, though, you're going to find out that you don't put no fear in me. Just like them inmates in there, I had to tell one of them out there, I said, man, listen. I said, you can tell whoever you want, but I'm going to tell you like this. You will never in your life put any fear in me. And I said, I was just frustrated. I said, and if you want to try it, go ahead. I was just out of character. I was out of sorts because I got tired of them. He fronted me off in roll call about that situation. Keep in mind, they just handed me a paper. It was my 3-day weekend. I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. He hands me a paper saying this says that they taking my Friday. Then, after I find out I'm not going to be on Friday, I'm like, okay, so they trying to be nice about it. They going to hand me the Saturday and the Sunday paper later. He get to front me off about that freaking phone. When the people that's not on probation, they don't have no phone list. So he got to front me off about the phone. Now, I'm going to try to wrap this up. When that happened, he called me in the office, told me I was spectating, said a bunch of stuff that just wasn't true. That went against all your supervisors under you and everything they was telling us to do. And I guarantee you they said that behind his back. Like, yeah, but we do teach them to do that. I said, when he told me he was going to write me up, the frustration just boiled over. Same thing happened in Texas. When I was walking around and I punched that locker, I knew that was it. I'm not working there no more. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. So I felt that same feeling that I felt in Texas. That frustration feeling where you just fed up. And I'm sitting in the locker. Like, should I just keep going? Then I'm thinking about how they acting like I'm horrible, which I'm not. I was better than the majority of what they had. But yet they want me there all the time. I said, you know what, man? Forget this job. So I go back up there. I say, you don't got to write me up. I quit. And I got to taking the equipment off. She calls him, such and such. Might want to come out here. He looked shocked. How you looking shocked? People quit on you all the time. You don't know how to treat people. Frustration leads to depression. And that's why you got to deal with it. You got to figure out what your plan of attack is going to be when you start feeling frustration. Are you going to fight through it and stay where you at? Me personally, I have breaking points. That's why I'm finna get divorced. That's why I quit that job. That's why I quit other jobs, because I have breaking points. Time is like I don't believe in just forcing. You gonna appreciate what I give to you. You gonna appreciate what I bring to the table, or I'm not gonna be at the table. That's just me. I don't know how you do things. Maybe you're a little more messy than me. Maybe it's the Libra in me. But when I cut you off, I cut you off. That's what, when the Libra is in their light, I know it seems like darkness, but when the Libra is in their light and you ain't treating them right, you're going to get cut off. And that's whether you're an employer, whoever you are. I'm in the light. You not finna, I don't need you. You need me more than I need you. Because I can bounce back. I've bounced back so many times. Don't ever tell me that I got to go to a place where people don't appreciate what I do. Because I don't. I don't let frustration set in. And that's why I have the peace level that I have. Because I remove that unpeaceful thing. I do. So a lot of people in this field, they showing us all these videos about people that was deleting themselves. You know why they did that? Because they didn't have the guts, and I'm not trying to talk down on nobody. They didn't have what it takes to eliminate their frustrations. You got to eliminate your frustration. in a peaceful way. We got 2 feet for a reason. I got 2 feet, 4 wheels on my car. I take my 2 feet and I go to my car, start it up, vroom, see ya. I still got the uniform. And you know how I be thinking? I be thinking like, I need to get rid of this uniform. This uniform is jank. I'm going to take them this uniform back. They can have this. I don't need it. In life, you got to be able to handle adversity. And handling adversity is not, see, y'all don't know. That's why we got this emotion here. Yeah, y'all believe that handling adversity is keeping it in there. Keeping everything in. Keeping your emotions in. Keeping your emotions in will kill you. You'll be dead. If you with a woman, let's talk about this. I hear guys, you should keep your emotions in. That's bad advice. If you with a woman that can't handle your true emotions, you with the wrong woman. If she can't respect you through your emotions and respect your emotions, you with the wrong woman. You don't change who you are for these broads, these jobs, or anybody else. You gotta handle your frustration the way that benefits you. What benefits me is removing it, because I will give him what he wanted. He think he want that. That's not what you want. But people don't be thinking straight. See, all he was gonna do is the minute I get a good hit off one of them dudes, the minute I dump one of them on their head, they was gonna fire me or try to call the sheriff. I ain't no fool. The sheriff been called on me before. I ain't stupid. You will never get me like that. You gonna have to invent some stuff to get me like that. People want to say you scared. Man, listen, when I tell you the truth before God. These dudes don't put no fear in me. The Most High is the only being that I fear. I fear what he'll allow. I fear what he could do. I fear. But y'all, anything a man can do to me is only temporary. Anything I could do to him is temporary. But that temporary can mess you up for eternity. It can't mess me up. But if your name ain't in the book of life and you try me and you'd be the one to die, you just lost. So frustration is not a seed that you want to plant. Frustration is a seed that you want to get rid of. Because if you plant that seed, when that frustration gets watered, if it keep getting watered, it's going to grow. And it's going to grow into the tree called depression. Now you can't appreciate nothing. You got to deal with your frustrations. Some of y'all making money God. You supposed to be God over money. So you put up with all this stuff. There's not a person in earth, and I don't say this with disrespect or lack of love, that I need. There's people that I like having around. There's people that I got love for. But if you start disrespecting me, then it don't matter who you are. I will cut you off. Anybody. It ain't nobody that's not included. You start disrespecting me, I'm eventually, you think you getting away with it, you might want to pay attention to what you're doing. Because if a person just disrespects me, I'm going to cut them off eventually. I don't care who you is. I ain't going to want nothing to do with you. Some people I have more tolerance towards, but I have a breaking point with all people. You try to disrespect me because somebody else try it, I'll cut both of y'all off. That's just the way it is. I'll cut both of y'all off. When you put up with disrespect, you're not even loving yourself. And like I said, if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. That's why the divorce rate is so high. Because these people are looking for marriage, for love, and for this and for that, and they don't even love themselves. If you don't love yourself, you shouldn't be married to nobody. But all these people keep trying to get married, and they don't even love themselves. They ain't even dealing with their frustration. What is a depressed person gonna do in a relationship? You gonna become a burden. You gotta deal with your frustrations before they become that. And if they become that, you still can go back over here by figuring out what it is. We're gonna talk about depression, but y'all, it's like some of y'all be letting what people say and do to you affect you. That's what causes frustration. That's the devil's formula. Mistreatment leads to frustration. Frustration leads to depression. You don't need no friend but you. You want other friends, and that's fine. That's normal. The Most High created us to want to have covenants and commitments and agreements with people. But you can't base your love for yourself, your respect for yourself off other people, because what happens when they reject you? Now you're going to reject yourself. You're going to reject yourself. I'll never reject myself. I'm going to see you as the enemy. And you doing things, you saying things that making me think different of myself, you are the enemy. You are the ops. A to Z. It don't matter who, it don't matter who you are. I see you as the op. And I don't believe in keeping my enemies close. I think that's an outdated philosophy. Yeah, if you want to get in a fight, you want to get in a shootout, keep your enemies close. You want to get poisoned, the Most High don't keep his enemies close. The Bible says it's a chasm. It's a bubble between heaven and hell. Some of y'all dudes, everything about you. My Peter's little. You listening to these other people. Nobody comes in last place in everything. If you a human being, you not in last place in everything. It's going to be something that you in first place. And that's what you need to figure out. These people are miserable. They don't even have no spiritual concept. They got the spiritual life of a deer. They have the reasoning abilities of a house rat. And you letting these people affect how you see yourself? Shame on you. Stop it. People who don't even know themselves, you letting them shape what you think about you. Here's what you need to do.